Hi everyone, this is Kim from Earn Greater Profits, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add a simple blog to your website through the platform. So we're in sites and websites, and I have my test website that we've worked on in other videos, but there are two ways to set up a blog. The first way is just inside your website, so mysite.com/blog, and then we just set up a page where your blog shows up, or you could do it as a subdomain, so blog.mywebsite.com. Now, if you want to do it this second way, the first thing you'll need to do is go to Settings, down to Domains, and then add your domain. So it'll end up looking like blog.mysite.com. And then you'll want to, you can hit continue to have your domain provider automatically get that set up if your domain provider is on the list. If not, just add the record manually and it'll show you what settings you need to put in your DNS records. I have another video showing how to add domains, and so I'm not going to go into that now. But once you have that domain, then you can go back to here and you create a brand new website named blog, and then it'll just ask you to attach the domain to it. So you just go into settings and then you select the domain. This is a demo account, and so I don't have any domains attached, but once you create blog.yourwebsite.com, it'll show up right here. In fact, once you create the domain, if you've already created this this website for the blog, it'll have that as drop down saying which website do you want to attach to this brand new domain. So you could do it in either spots. But we're going to go ahead and I'll show you how to create your blog, and it'll work whether you have a a dedicated subdomain for it or whether you're using just a page in your website you've already created. And so let's go ahead and do this. I've actually done a test to see how it will turn out, but let me show you in one of my other accounts what it actually looks like before you start. So when you click on blogs and you've never created a blog before, it'll give you these two choices. So inside it says create a funnel or a website page to host your blog. Inside the page builder, add the blog post list element and then choose how many blog posts you want visible. So what we're going to do back here in the demo account is what I did was just create a new page, and then I added these, and I'll show you how to do that. So in here, let's just create a new one. In our elements section, come down here, and here's our two blog sections. And this first navigation is this one. So we just pull it in, and it just creates our navigational menu. And so that's where we get that. And I've also already just named the first one demo category, just to get an idea of what that looks like. And in here you can create as many categories as you want to show up here. You can also include this search bar or take it out. You've got some spacing options, color options, horizontal space and vertical space, so you can widen it out between your categories. You can also change the fonts just the font sizes, it takes on the same fonts as your whatever your default fonts are here under typography. That way it stays consistent. They've got choices for borders and shadows, but I believe that's only for the entire, if you want to block off the entire navigational menu. I'm not going to do that today, so I'll just leave that off. You can also change the visibility. So if you don't want to show the blog on your mobile phone, then you can turn that off. And then this section here, just show you, that's where the blog posts come in. And there's two different ways to show it. So this is one way. This is the standard. And it just shows your image, your title, your little blurb here. Excerpt is what they call it. And then the date it was posted or published. And they guess at how long it takes to read it. That's just something that comes up. You can also select what you want on this particular page, which category of blog posts you want to show. So I've only set up my demo category. So you can choose all posts or particular categories. So you can range your blog posts along several different pages. So you could have a page for each category, or you could just throw them all up on one page. So this shows you how many of these blog excerpts you want to show. So you could do 9. It only shows you 3 in the demo, but when we get to the actual preview, it will show up if you have that many blog posts. And then I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at 6 though. I only have a couple of demo blog posts already done in here. You can change the buttons, color buttons, so you can make it look closer to your branding. Spacing, border and shadow. So if you've gone through my videos about creating a website from scratch, you'll already know about these. They're the same as in any other element that we've done. These borders and shadows are not for the individual blog post excerpt. It's for the entire item. And in the future, we'll be able to manage this individually and customize the way things look in here. But at the moment, it's a pretty simple blog. And then, of course, the other look we have is this compact look. And so you could fit more on the way this looks than this. There's, just depends on how you want. This looks more like a blog. This could be more like a frequently asked questions section. You could use it as a knowledge base. Just a bunch of different things. You could use it also as a portfolio section. With your image here, then you could click on each one, and each blog post could be an explanation of one project or one job. And so then you can create a portfolio out of this. If you didn't want to do blog, you don't want to call it a blog, you could call it portfolio. You have a lot of options, and it's very simple, so you don't have to get into a lot of hoopla in trying to create a blog from WordPress. And so, if you don't need a full-blown blog, then this is a really great fix for that. So let's just go ahead and save this. And let's make sure we have a link here. Let's add a link in our global menu so that we can get there. Go to page, blog. Okay, so we've got our blog right there. Let's hit save. Okay. All right, let's go to our preview now and just kind of take a look at what it's giving us. It's not showing our other items, and I'm not quite sure whether we didn't set it to select all categories. Let's just take a look at what I did in here. It looks like I've got the same settings. Let's just go ahead and delete this one out of here. Hit save. Okay, let's go look at this again and just take a look at what it shows. So I just named it test blog, and then I just kind of copied and pasted what they already had for their demo sentence on here, just to see how much would show. So this is their demo blog, and so they kind of just give a, you know, a little snippet of everything that can be added to a test blog. And so we've got our image, and this image, you'll notice, is on our home page and is that particular size. Yet, let's go back. This is, it's a 4x3. It's like, they say the recommended size is 600 by 400. But if you add a 600 by 400 and then click on here, the image is more of a square and does not perfectly fit as you know, in the space. It doesn't fit well in the space. And so what I did is I just put what I wanted to in here, the size I wanted that would look good, and then we're kind of just dealing with what ended up here. And so, like I said, again, simple blog. And so there's a couple of little visual challenges that we can go through to make, you know, you just have to adjust your image a little bit to make it look good. So one thing you could do, what it did is it just basically took the middle. And so if you've got an image with something in the middle, you're not going to have too much of a problem getting your main idea through the image here. But let's again take just kind of a look at what you can do with it. So you've got your title, which will go across here. The category, let's click on the category and see if it gives us anything more. No, it just shows us our categories from the previous page. Here's a quote. You've got text, images. You've got numbered items. You've got a video that is hosted on YouTube that you can plug in. You can do a checklist. That's cool. And then here's your demo author, and I'll show you where that came from because I did create that previously. So let's go back here, but what I do want to do is change this to standard, save it, and show you what this standard view looks like. And we'll just reload. And so we've got it set so 3 show, but since I only have one, just the test blog, then only 1 shows up. But I do like the way the image shows up better. And if it was more square, of course, the image area would be taller. And so I do like the way that looks. And so let's go back. And let's create ourselves. I've got it saved. Let's just go back here. Go back to blogs. So now that we have one created, we're not seeing that original setup page like we saw on this page here. So now we've got 1 published blog, we've got 1 published post, and here is that blog post which we can edit, duplicate, do a couple other things which I'll show you. The first thing I want to do is hit this gearbox. And the only thing in here are settings for your authors and categories. So you can create new categories here. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's say we have a coaching category. And then you want to grab yourself an image. So let's throw that image in there. The recommended size is 512 by 512. Okay, so for the category images, they want a square. So let's just jump back here and grab ourselves something that is almost a square. And our alt text. Make your alt text a little bit more valuable than this. And then coaching. And then you can describe your category there. All right, so now we've got 2 categories. Here I'm just going to edit this to show you what's available. It's basically the same as a category, but adds your social media accounts if you'd like to add those. And then you just put your name, your image, which they also want as a square. You can put your little blurb about yourself here or about the author. Add the Facebook and add your social media accounts, and that shows up again at the bottom of each post. So let's go ahead and create a new blog post. Coaching. Here's our 600 by 400 request, but I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. Post description. And the post description is between 100 and 250 characters. And in the demonstration right here, I just copied and pasted that. And we've got all the way up to the 2nd sentence, halfway, almost to the end of the 2nd sentence. And I think that ended up being about 230 characters here. So just as much as you need, and it'll keep going. It'll pull us into where we can create our new blog post, and it pulls in this demo blog post, gives you some ideas, some fun things. You can just delete these sections as you go. And it'll tell you how many words. Again, if you've watched my SEO series, you'll know that blog posts, to have enough content for Google to index, you want at least 500 words in each blog post. Google also loves videos and images, as long as they have good alt tags so that Google knows what those images represent. And we'll just go over kind of what you can do in this. So you can bold, italicize, underline, strike through. You have all your custom fonts. So this pulls in anything. These are all the free Google fonts, and so there's about 1,500 of them. So hopefully you can find the one. If you use Google Fonts in your branding, then you'll be able to use them here. Size your fonts. You'll want heading 1. You'll want your title to be heading 1. And so by default, the title's already in there as a heading 1. So when you're actually creating your blogs, don't add an additional heading 1 here because it's the title you've already created. This one, Coaching the New Wave, is already an H1 tag. So don't add another H1 tag in the body of your blog. Continue with H2 and below. You can center, line, justify. You can indent, and that's what, if you're doing quotes, you can indent things here or here. Spacing, let's see what they've got for this spacing here. Looks like they've got 1.5 as the default spacing, but you have your choices, a couple choices. Depending on the font you use, the spacing, more or less spacing, just make it easy to read. And then you can do a numbered list, check marks, to-do list. There's that to-do list that we saw down at the bottom that people can check off. That's kind of fun. Bulleted list, numbered list. So they show pretty much all your options somewhere here. Let's see what's in this section. You can highlight text. Oh, okay, so like a highlighter. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Fun. You can throw in links, which is always a really great idea. Here's where you can insert your image, insert an audio, insert a video, insert a quote, which is what this is and how they get the line there. That's where they're, in fact, let's just drag one in. Let's get our cursor to where we want to add that. There we go. Yep, and then we match that up by doing some italics and making the font a little larger. So there you go. Let's see what else they've got. You can add emojis, dividers. Let's throw in a divider here and just see how the divider looks. There you go. Great. Insert custom code. So if you've got, This custom code is not a CSS area, so if you want to add CSS, put it inside a script tag. It's probably what's going to need to be done there. Other custom code, HTML code, you can play around with that if you're familiar. Let's see what else we've got. Format all content, and then format selected. Let's just select this. And I'm not sure what it is going to do beyond the things we can already do with it. Maybe I'm not seeing, and I didn't see when I was playing around with it last time, what format all content was all about. And maybe these are just in here for the next update, that they have some plans for that. But anyway, that kind of gives you an idea of everything that you can add. There's an emoji that they've added. Let's just throw in here adding an image and see how that goes. So you're pulling your images from the media library. So if you've already uploaded images that you've already used in other parts, they're going to be there and available for you. You can put a width and a height if you need to switch that out. Your alt text for SEO purposes. If you want to open the image on click, if you want to add a no follow, you can do that. Okay, all great stuff. Let's just take a look at adding an audio here. Add the audio clip. Great. Goes to the media library again. You can do autoplay or loop. And let's just throw out the video. So you can insert from your media library or from a YouTube URL. Now I also know that in the membership courses, if you're setting up a membership course, you can pull in or embed video from YouTube or from a couple other places. And so I bet you they're going to update that here as well, so that you can have other video sources such as Wistia and Vimeo. And so if you're inserting from the media library, you'll just click here and go back there, change your height and width if you need to, keep it within a certain area. So great. In here, we can duplicate our post, delete the blog post, preview it. Great, let's hit save. And we'll hit continue, and this should get us, oh, because we haven't done anything here. This is the blog post SEO details. Let's look at that first. That's where we first set it up, so we can go in and change those if we need to. You can go in and change the URL slug if you want it to be something different. It says your URL will look like example.com/B for blog, and then the category. Actually, Coaching the New Wave. That is, they don't add any category, just the name. Now, if you want coaching, we're in the coaching category. You can add keywords if you want to. Here's where you add your author. You can save it as a draft, publish it immediately, or you can schedule and publish at a later time. Let's go ahead and just publish now, but they also allow you to change the published date. This helps if you're moving your website from another host to here, then and copying your blog posts over, you can publish it the date it was originally published instead of today's date, and that will help SEO purposes as far as longevity is concerned. If you published it at a previous date 3 years ago, then make sure that you set this date to 3 years ago. You can also schedule it in the future. So let's just go ahead and publish this. Well, let's leave it at yesterday. Hit save. So now we've got 2, and let's click here. Okay, so it didn't show up, but I know exactly why. Let's go back to our website and to our blog. Let's edit our blog. Okay, when we were first creating this, the only category we had was the demo category. So now we can hit all and come up with everything. This seems a little bit limiting because then every time you create a new category, you're going to have to come in and update this. So hopefully with the new update, they will have, like, if you say all posts, then any new category you add should automatically default here. So let's go ahead and hit save. So now that we have that updated correctly, there we go. So let's go and click on this, and of course it's got the same stuff we had. There's our demo author. It'll look more impressive if you have a real description in there. Anyway, so this is our simple blog that's in the platform there. I know they're going to do more updates and make it more user-friendly and in-depth. Right now, it obviously doesn't compare to WordPress, but if you just need something simple to put in information, then this works just fine with, you know, just your simple stuff going on. Now, what it does, if you haven't noticed, is the one page, this one page we've been editing, it has your categories, but once you click and start reading a blog post, you're not leaving what it does is it keeps it in I believe it keeps it in an iframe, and so you're still getting the right name, and it looks like another page, but what it's doing is it's pulling in the categories, and it's kind of just removing your posts and throwing this up there. And so it's not creating completely new pages for these. It's hard to explain. You don't need to, let's go back and I'll show you. The only thing you've got here in your website pages is this one page. Okay. So every time you create a new blog post, you're not creating a new page on your website. So you're not, you've got 50 blog posts you've created. You're not going to have 50 pages here. They create them right here on this page. And so that's how it makes it easy to handle as far as your blog posts are concerned. You only have to go into blogs and edit or change your blog post SEO right here. You don't have to go down and open up the blog post page and edit it there. So they've made it just super simple. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about creating your blog on your website, let me know. Thanks so much.